there are essentially two categories of time wasters on YouTube. On the one hand, you have the producer or the creator, which I would be in that situation, but I'm also, I'm a subscriber as well. But so you have the creator, and then you have the subscriber. Now, this time wasting business it's a mutual endeavor. If you're creating material and you're trying to waste time, there's a method to it. It's not just as simple as let's turn on the camera and, well, what do you do when you're trying to waste time? It's not as easy as it might sound. And some people make idle accusations as if time wasting is just easy as pie, as if it just comes naturally and you don't have to work at it. That's incorrect. It's very incorrect. There is a science to time wasting. If you're on the subscriber side, it's very simple. Just spend your whole day watching YouTube videos. That part's simple. There's not a lot of science there. It's just kind of like a more is more. More is more. The more you watch, the more time you waste. So everybody's happy. If you're producing material, if you're creating, okay, there's a little more, what's the word? There's more responsibility as a creator, because you're essentially acting as you're taking advantage of the fact of multiplication, the multiplicative nature of the internet, which takes your vessel of time wasting that you've created, say it's 10 minutes long. Okay, normally you can only waste one person's time for 10 minutes face to face. Okay, this is before the internet came around and started multiplying all us out into billions of possible iterations of the same exact thing. So internet comes around, and whereas before you could waste someone's time efficiently for an hour, provided that you kept it entertaining and interesting, face to face, right? That's what people do when they have face to face conversations. But on the internet, now you have the magical ability to create a video and multiply it. And now you have helped however many people watch the video, you've helped them in their endeavor to waste as much time as possible in as an enjoyable way. I didn't want to force her to be included in this current time wasting episode, but you want to waste it in an enjoyable fashion. It doesn't. If somebody gets on there and they start saying the same thing, they start repeating, they don't bring something new, then, well, guess what? You're gonna lose the subscribers that count on you to waste their time, as Yolanda said, in a beautiful fashion. You don't want to waste people's time in a boring fashion that makes them want to go jump off a bridge, unless you dislike them. So when you're creating a piece and you know the power that's behind it, you know that it's going to multiply itself out, and anybody that wants to hop on can utilize that tool that you've given them. Because, let's be honest, everybody, while they don't have time to waste, they're preparing for a time when they do have time to waste. So when they're working, they're like, ah, man, I gotta do all this shit. I gotta put in all this work. I hate my job. I hate this and that. And then when they're finally done working and they have acquired a space of time that they're, with a clean and clear conscience, able to waste, they don't necessarily know how to waste it properly. So sometimes people will just smoke weed, go off into la la land. Not that smoking weed is bad, it's totally fine as a time wasting tool. So it's a mutual endeavor, and the more entertaining it is, the better. When you have things like mainstream news offering themselves as a time-wasting opportunity for you, the consumer, well, people were doing that for a long time, then they got sick of it. Because it was the same old shit, same old talking heads. So they went looking elsewhere, and they found channels on YouTube or whatever other platform where they can breathe a breath of fresh waste, fresh time waste. And they're very appreciative because they worked hard for that window. They just spent 8 hours slaving away, selling widgets, useless widgets, that are built with planned obsolescence, so you have to buy more useless widgets the next year. But that's aside from the point. They just did a lot of work, and they bought themselves a window of time to waste. So it's our job to make sure that people can waste it beautifully, that people can waste it creatively. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just killing time. Killing time. When someone says that, well, that's your opportunity. That's essentially an invitation. Don't treat it lightly, though, because if you sit there and start, you hop right in to fill that role for them. If your time wasting ability is what's the word? If it's a demonstration of dumbassery and repetition, they're gonna say, fuck off. I know somebody else that really, really understands how to waste time correctly. You don't. So, peace. So then they'll go on over to a channel or a person that can entertain them while they're wasting time, while they're killing time, while they're running out of time. Because that's what you're doing all the time. You're running out of it. And there are some small techniques and things that go in there with that. Long, thoughtful pauses are great. Gets people kind of antsy. And they rationalize it by saying, oh, well, he's gathering his thoughts because he's going to come up with something really good after he sits here in silence for 2 minutes. So they kind of give you a pass if you sneak in, a couple minute or two of silence, or they tell themselves this is meditation. He's helping me. So those are good. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that bringing up highly polarized issues and picking a camp and then arguing that one until you're blue and red in the face. I wouldn't say that's the best way to waste time, because you're only going to appeal to the half that are on your side of the fence, and then you have to argue that side good enough that they're going to stay retained. So in my practice, I don't usually do that, and I'm not interested in dividing people anyway. I'm more interested in helping people drop the barriers, etc., and so on. So when I set out to waste time, I attempt to do it in an entertaining and productive manner. It's not just entertaining, it's also, I expect that you can feel something meaningful has happened in this particular episode of Time Wasting. That's what I would hope. I don't always succeed, but that's what I go for. And it is a science, you know. It's a skill set that you develop after putting time. Sorry, there's using this word time way too often in this video, but it takes time to develop the skill set. And then your audience will come accustomed to your flavor of time wasting, and they'll say, man, I'm gonna take this guy over all the other guys because he just offers something in this very sacred space of available time to waste that the others don't. And people will start getting hooked on that. But that also comes with the responsibility, because they're expecting that when they have a window to waste, that you're going to fulfill their need. And if you don't, they're going to get pissed off. And most people don't even understand that that's the principal action that's happening here. And most people will, I shouldn't say most, that's a generalization, that's untrue. Many people don't like to admit that what's going on here is time wasting. They like to posture as something meaningful is happening and learning is occurring. It could be happening. Maybe it happens. Maybe meaningful things are going on. But I digress. To disclose an episode that's coming up. It's going to be a Carl the Fog episode, as requested by one of the subscribers. And it's going to be good. I can't say when exactly this is going to happen, but it's going to happen within the next couple months, I would say. And it's going to be good. I hope I'm not setting my expectations too high. Anyway, I hope this was a good time wasting session for you. 15 minutes. I hope I was efficient. And yeah, hope you learned something. Hope it was meaningful.